Hello YouTube, iFixItAll here, Team iFixItAll. The current patient on the workbench is a Goodwill find. A clock made by, well, brand name Cincinnati, made in USA. Let's see what all it takes to make this thing work. This is what I refer to as a school clock, but it could have been any industrial setting type clock. Let's see what's in here. That's it. Looks to me like we've got some fine writing on there. Let's see. The back of the motor mechanism says Synchron, S-Y-N-C-H-R-O-N. Trademark. And then it lists the various patents. Let's see if we can find any other information on it. I believe I've got a date code on the side of this thing. Turn this overhead light on. Alright, so I have writing on the side. I'm going to read it all out if I can. I don't know what 610 is, but it's stamped 610, and then there's a space, and then it says 110 volts. So when you see something stamped with a voltage rating, over the decades, the power companies have raised the voltage going to your outlets due to population increase. They would raise the voltage, which would reduce the amount of current draw on the power plants across the country. Older appliances and older equipment would say things along the lines of, really old equipment would say like 100 volts AC, and then time marched on, they standardized to 110. Then some of you may remember equipment using the voltage rating as 117 volts. And then they migrated, I think somewhere in the 80s, they moved into something called 120 volts. And then I think I see things nowadays that says 125 volts AC or 124. This helps the power company when they raise their voltage. It reduces, if their equipment is capable of doing it, which is generally the case for how their power plant systems are typically over-engineered with some degree of future-proofing, with the idea that demand is going to increase over time. It lowers the current draw on the power plant itself. Kind of like over in Europe. In Europe, they have a three-pronged system just like us, except it doesn't look like our system. The plugs are much larger. In the US, we have 120 volts, and we have a neutral, and then we have a chassis ground, safety ground. This is the power coming in, gets used by your device, and to get its earthing, so to speak, it receives it from the other prong, which is the neutral. Typically, your neutral leg experiences excess currents that are transient or not used by the equipment in between these two prongs. And then this would be your chassis ground to protect you from electrical shock. The equipment would short out to the chassis and go straight to earth ground. So this piece of equipment here, because that's what it is, it's a clock, but it's electrical. It's stamped with 110 volts, and it says 60 CY. Well, that means cycles. A cycle is a rotation. So 60 cycles, 60 hertz. And then it says 3W, which is 3 wire. Why does it say 3 wire? Okay, so you generally don't count the ground conductor when you talk technically. Well, this is pre-National Electric Code. So yeah, 3W. It says 3W, 1 RPM motor. And then it includes maybe a serial number of sorts. I'm not sure, but it says I43RA. That's Indigo 43 Romeo Alpha -76. And then this looks like a date code of 10-67. What's really fascinating is I have a little sight glass here. There's literally a window you can see in there. Why do I have a sight glass? Right here. Now they're taunting me because it looks removable. Because it looks like it's got a piece of a picture frame holding a piece of plastic on. It's raised brass right here on from the 10 to 2 and from the 4 o'clock to 8 o'clock position. Looks like a little plastic. Op check. See if it works. Bumped the camera, of course. Bumped it really bad. Let's fix that a little bit. Goodwill, $3, I think that was. Ooh, smooth clockworks. No tick-tocky. This is where you must change the time. Made in USA. Oh my God. Look in that sight glass. Something's spinning around. Let me disable power. Watch inside that sight glass. Whoa, is that just dangling back and forth? Something's spinning. lay some protective matting down. This is glass. Hang on. The only thing I can see wrong so far is that the Clockworks is loose. And that's because of that nut right behind the hands. I really want to leave well enough alone on this. Figure out a chintzier way to keep that from moving, because this clock is working just fine. I'm not all against rigging something up. I have an idea. We need to put friction on this whole assembly somehow. Huh. Dooby-doo. Thing. Here's a thing. Yeesh. Come on. Sham it. There we go. I had to rotate it around to get 12 o'clock hand over the minute hand by setting it. Okay, so when I put the minute hand right over top of the hour hand perfectly, right about there. There, it's not as easy to move around. Got some cardboard underneath that, which stabilized this. That's it for this video. I'm not going any further with the clock. I've got a few setting gears that are exposed to me that I could get in there with a brush and lubricate. I don't see any reason to do any maintenance on this. There it is. Cincinnati clock. Functional check again. It doesn't even make any noise. Can wipe off the glass a little bit. Ooh. Well, that went a half a minute around though. Let's check something else out. Let's see how accurate let's pretend like I put it 3 seconds past. When that red hand comes around to the tippy top, I would expect my minute hand to be right over top of the 4th dot. Pretty close. When it gets down to the 6, it should be 50%, right in between. It looks like it's a little, well, no, it's right in the middle. It's actually a little ahead of the middle. Now it should be 75% of the way there on the 9 now. It looks like it's a little fast on that minute hand. That minute hand's a little fast, huh? Okay, that's just a matter of how I set the clock. Should be halfway in between when the second hand gets right dead center on the 6. Boom. To me, visually, it looks like it's a little bit past 50%. You can literally sit here and watch that hand move. Right there, I think it's 5 seconds fast. Not too shabby. Alright guys, that's it for the Cincinnati clock. I don't know what model it is, but that's how I'm going to load it up on YouTube. See ya.